this video, we're going to show you how to adjust your cutter with our standalone cutting station. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure your slitter carriage is tight. If you can lift up and down on the handle and you have play like that, that's not good. So what you want to do is take your handle off, remove your nuts or your T-nuts and your 3 washers off each bolt. Set those aside. Remove your carriage bolts. Set that aside. So what's going on, the reason why it's wobbly like that is this slotted hole on your carriage is made for an adjustment so you can adjust your tightness. If that gets loose and comes out of square, you'll get that wobble. Easiest way to fix that, get either a long wrench or a screwdriver, something that you can fit in there and use for some leverage. Just gonna pull it until you get a little bit of tightness. You don't need to crank on it and get it super tight. You just want it to be in there. Try to have it square. Get it in position. Grab some 9/16 wrenches and then tighten it down. Don't over tighten it to where you put so much pressure on the bearings that it doesn't want to roll easily. You just want it to be out of there and so it rolls. So if you lift up and down, you don't have any play. Your second adjustment is going to be your height adjustment for your blades. So this is what we call our top blade, which is the round blade. Then you have a lower blade, which is this long skinny one on the bottom. So to adjust that, what you want to do is slide your slitter carriage all the way to one end, and you're going to want to check your reveal. And when I say that, it's where the top blade overlaps your bottom blade. So right now, if you look at this one, it's about 3/16 or so low. That's a good spot if you have thicker panel. If you have thin panel and you start getting any kind of oil canning into your panel and you want to get rid of that, you'll adjust your slitter higher. So what you're going to want to do is, first thing, come to this bolt across, and all it is 2 9/16 wrenches will do all your adjustments. Loosen this. This is going to take the pressure off the side so you can allow your post to go up and down. That's what's going to be making your adjustment. Now, in between the post and the frame, you have a nut and a washer. On the bottom, you have the head of the bolt. To raise it, you're going to want to loosen the bottom on the bolt, give it about 1 turn or 2, then holding that into place, you're gonna want to grab the other wrench and tighten down the nut. What that's gonna do is push up on your post, which will now raise your slitter blade. Now you can see we got about a good 1/8 inch of overlap in between the 2 blades. That's where you want it at. Make sure that these 2 are tight together. Hold the nut, tighten the bolt. That's tight, still in the position that you want it to be in. Tighten back down your clamp bolt. Then you'll take your slitter, slide it to the other side, and repeat the same process to have the same overlap on both ends, and then you'll have the same tightness and overlap on the entire blade. And then put your handle back on. So on the rare occasion of your slitter blade jumping, and what we mean by jumping is your top blade is no longer on the side of your lower blade, it goes up on top of it. You're not going to be able to cut that way, they have to be side by side. And this is kind of what it'll look like, and this usually always happens is when your slitter is out of adjustment. So you'll be cutting, and all of a sudden your blade jumps up and now it's on top of your other blade instead of on the inside where it's supposed to happen, and you're going to get a clean cut. To fix this, you need to adjust your shear. What you're going to want to do is come to your side post, loosen up your side bolt that locks it, loosen your bottom bolt. This is going to take off any tension that is on the blades themselves. Once your blade is free spinning above the other blade, you'll be able to start bringing it back until it starts to make contact. Once it is about to make contact, using your hands carefully, pull it towards you until now you have your overlap back. Now that your blades are overlapped, come back to the post, get your bottom bolt, tighten it down. Bring that tight. Grab your slitter wheel, bring it towards you, keeping an eye on it to make sure that it's not going to come over the top again. Getting pretty close, so I'm going to tighten it a little bit more, bring this post down. Now that I know it's not going to go over again, bring it to its max position. Check your overlap on your blade. You want about an 1/8 inch to 3/16 overlap, or to the bottom of this thinner top blade. Since it's right about there now, give it a little bit more. Now that it's there, make sure your nut in the middle is tight with your bolt. Now that that's tight, re-tighten down your clamp bolt. Now that that's tight, take your slitter to the opposite side. Double check you have the same reveal on this side, which we now do. Now that that's been tightened, make sure your slitter carriage is tight. Put your panel back in. Try the cut again. If your slitter is properly adjusted, you should have no issues cutting.